Here we go. Hey, fuck. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the throttle calibration. Again, I don't care if I'm droning on about it, but you see, that is just crazy and it needs to be fixed. Anyways, I'm in the Chery Tiggo Cross. Now, Chery is popular at the moment, right? Chewy whiskers. They're everywhere, especially the Tiggo 4 Pro. And also, Chery also added old Omoda and JQ to its stable. So good on them for just smashing it out the park. But now this cross is based on that Tiggo Pro, that Tiggo 4 Pro. It sits above that and below the 7. Some might call this like a facelifted version of just the Tiggo 4 Pro, to be fair. But we're going to call it a Tiggo Cross because that's what it is, okay? Now, there are 2 trim levels, Comfort and Elite. I'm in the Elite. Okay, very well spec'd. I'll tell you how that vibe is going now. But like, the Elite adds like a 360-degree camera and some added safety features like adaptive cruise control. It's got an extra airbag, making 7. But then it's got this little sunroof. It's just so little. It's silly. But we know I hate a sunroof. But I suppose if you're going to have one, have a tiny one. Or don't have one at all. But whatever. Okay, besides the point. Does have some great spec as we have come to expect from Chinese brand cars. It's got a 10.25-inch infotainment touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which works beautifully, by the way. Everything actually quite seamless. I was in, you might remember, a 1.8 million rand car last week. I'm not going to mention names. You can go look at it if you like. And I struggled non-stop with that infotainment system and trying to pair my phone and then make my phone, like as I get in to pair, you know, as I get into this car, whatever song, whatever podcast I was listening to, automatically and very quickly comes on. I appreciate that very much so. Very much so. If you want to know how much insurance will cost you on your Tiggo Cross, then do what I did. Pop your details onto www.hippo.co.za and out will pop up to 12 quotes. The best one I got being 628 Rand a month with an excess of 7,500 Rand. But there are so many options. Now it's your turn. I love the color of this car. I think it's called Moonlight Silver, which makes me love it even more because I love a bit of moonlight on the sea. Who doesn't? And not even in a romantic way, just like it's so beautiful. Anyways, space-wise, great. Ever so slightly not great leg room in the back, I find, when Luke is in his car seat and then someone's in the passenger seat, but not a deal breaker. I think it's a well-sized family SUV, like a small SUV, which is what it is, right? And then everything else, this is quite user-friendly. It's got all the information you need. I've got all the stuff in front of me as well. Also a digital instrument cluster. I love that there is separate knobs for the climate control stuff and like, you know, my fan. From an engine point of view, it's a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol. It's got 108 kilowatts of power and 210 newton meters of torque. Power sent to the front wheels via 6-speed dual clutch auto. I mentioned that throttle calibration, which drives me berserk. I don't even care if I'm droning on about it. It's really annoying. And so I put it, well, now I wanted to go into eco mode because the Elite has modes. The other one doesn't.
It has entered sport mode.
No.
It has entered economy mode.
We want economy mode because I find, even though it dulls it completely, at least I don't jump forward and almost like lose my whatever spleen in the process. I don't think that made sense, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm just finding that a little bit tricky. The other thing, guys, is okay, steering wheel. I don't mind it so much. It's quite light. I think most people wouldn't mind it because it is quite easily maneuverable. But some people would feel it to be, or would like it to be more weighted. I don't feel that much. It's too much, to be honest. What I would like to be better is the fuel consumption. Guys, it is a bummer. And I know that I say this on a lot of Chinese car brands, but I have to give you all the information. For a car to be sitting at between 9 and 10 litres per 100 Ks, and it's like a small SUV, is not acceptable. It's not. It needs to be lower, especially in this sort of economy, do you know? I just realized where I wanted to film this car is very full, and so I'm gonna have to turn around. That sucks. Anyway, so that is a bit of a bummer and something that needs to change, especially when, okay, so 400,000 Rand Comfort, 450,000 Rand Elite. If you stretch it a little bit further, you could get like a Corolla Cross, you get a Corolla Cross hybrid, and you'd have like almost no fuel consumption, which is, you know, where we all want to be at, basically. Even a Suzuki Grand Vitara, that would have much better fuel consumption. And then if you want to look more in a price range, per price range, if you want to go a little small, whatever is the T-Cross, even that, better fuel consumption, better drivability. So this is my, like, thing, right? My recommendation, or if you are asking me, even if you're not, okay, should you consider one of these? My answer is, you have to really think about it, okay? So don't let the price and the tech wow you, even though it is wowable. You need to take this for a drive and an extensive drive, I find. Like, go to the dealer, say, I don't want to go around the block. I want to go for at least like a 15, 20-minute drive or something. I want to check the fuel consumption. I want to see if this car is a car that I can live with every day from a drivability point of view. If you can live with those two things, from your fuel consumption and everything, then it's sort of a no-brainer, because the price is so good, the warranty is so good, the service plan is so good, the tech is a lot. I feel like I always want to say, like, don't get duped by all the bells and whistles, but they're bells and whistles for a reason. And so you might actually want to, consider it. Like I say, if you are looking at like the Tiggo 4 Pro and like that, you've got your heart set on that, I would say then try and stretch further and get this then, because this is the newer car, and it's got a little bit more to offer. Not to say don't get the Tiggo 4 Pro, just saying consider this one a bit more. But if your money can stretch it, I would probably still, if it was my family member, if it was my partner who was buying the car, and if they had a bit, I'd be like Corolla Cross hybrid for sure. If your money could go that far, do you know? Pretty tricky, because these do offer such a sort of solid game plan, is what it is. I just like spat on the steering wheel. I was so passionate about that. Best I leave you while I'm feeling very passionate.